Now,
recovery doesn't start tomorrow.
Calling all angels.
Recovery starts right now. And here to help is Rated R for Recovery.
Calling all you angels.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rated R for Recovery. That's Rated R, the number 4, recovery.com. That's the website. So go on the website. You can see all the past shows. Also, we have a YouTube page. We're on the Facebook.
I know.
Yes, we're on the Facebook. So like us on the Facebook and pass us around. You can hear us on what else? Pandora, Apple Music, and...
Spotify?
What?
Spotify,
and everything else you can possibly think of. Just punch in Rated R, the number 4, recovery.com. Now, it might be a little confusing on YouTube.
Why is that?
Because I think it's Rated R 4 FOR recovery on YouTube. But you'll find it when you start Googling it. It comes up every time. A very special edition, ladies and gentlemen, of the show tonight, as we humbly are the host of a CD release party. Alan and Kelly are releasing their new CD, Under God. Give them a nice round of applause. Now, for those of you at home or watching on... Hi, Ryan. Very good. So those of you at home watching on or watching online, you might not know it, but we have a huge studio audience here. Don't we, studio audience?
Let's hear it.
So I'm an addict and alcoholic. My name's John.
Hey, John. And I'm just a girl who can say no. My name's Joy.
Very good, Joy. So we are the host and co-hosts of Rated R for Recovery each week at 7 p.m. at 2415 Grand Avenue in Fort Myers, Florida. I say the whole address because you never know. We have people listening from Japan. Did you know that? Australia, and definitely Canada. Before we start the show, I want to recognize somebody that does a lot of work behind the scenes. First of all, we have our tech booth up there. We have Mark, Pedro, and Sharon.
Woo!
Wouldn't be possible without them. And the woman, the myth, the legend, ladies and gentlemen, Eileen Kapanen, right here. Stand up. Very good. One of my best friends in the whole world. These are people that make this show happen. All I do is talk.
Me too.
So, I know. Oh. Anyway, now we are also excited to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, our partner in crime, Kimmy's Recovery Zone. We have a table for Kimmy's in the back. We have a table for Alan and Kelly with T-shirts and all sorts of merch available for that. And we're going to be talking to Alan and Kelly and their new album. By the way, Nashville recording artist, Alan and Kelly. And we're going to be doing that. But first, watch this.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord.
There's blue, there's red, there's left, there's right, there's poor, there's rich, there's black, there's white. The world wants us divided, far from being united. That's what happens when we turn our backs on the truth.
Our pledge, our courts,
got nothing. Hey, wasn't that fabulous? This is the perfect weekend to start this video and to get this album going. All right.
Very good.
There you go.
It is 4th of July weekend, and how apropos. Recovery, God, I think you can't do one without the other.
Agreed.
Okay, before we start, we want to thank our sponsors real quick because we need to do that. They make this show possible. We have a new sponsor on board, the Standard Restaurant in downtown Fort Myers on Broadway Street, that is going to be offering us tasty delights here and there.
Love them.
Yeah, oh, very good. JCI Solutions, painting contractors, both residential and commercial. Next Step, which is a dual diagnosis treatment center. Brian Edwards, attorney at law, criminal defense attorney. I'm sure nobody needed a criminal defense attorney. Shamrock Bail Bonds, another thing. Anybody ever need a bail bondsman? Come on, play along with me.
Not anymore.
All right, oh, very good, very good. The Phoenix House. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate recovery. And just signed up this week, ladies and gentlemen, our newest sponsor, White Sands.
Woo.
So we are Rated R Recovery and Kimmy's Recovery Zone. We're partnered together to bring hope and healing to people that struggle with addiction, whether it be whatever the addiction or affliction is. So we just heard a remarkable song, I'm assuming the title track off the album.
It is, yes. And how about a hand for Kelly who made the video?
Yes.
She's phenomenal at making our videos.
Thank you.
In fact, we just hired Kelly to do our next video.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds good. I look forward to it.
Tell us a little bit about the conception of this.
Of the video?
Of the
Video
song,
of the song.
the album,
Of
the whole
the
thing, the whole
okay,
nine
well,
yards.
You know, the album was composed of a handful of tracks that meant something to us specifically over the past year. We're going to play several of those tonight and each tell a little bit of a different piece of the past year and just ups and downs along the way. Also, Under God was just something that spoke to us because, you know, you see what goes on in the world and we just really wanted to write something with the attempts to be unifying and to bring it back to what matters most, which is God.
Very nice. Now, I'm seeing these little tidbits
Yes.
all over the building.
Yes.
You see these, and they have this, what do they call this? What do you young people call
QR
this?
code.
A QR code on the back, okay? And I assume that you can do something with this.
Yes, you can scan that. It'll bring you to all the music sites, and tomorrow, July 4th, the album will be available. But all you do is scan that. It brings you to everything, whether it's shirts, albums, whatnot.
Everything.
Everything. It's
That's
all.
so
Nice.
cool.
Guess who created that?
For those,
You know that? You guys know that?
It
For
takes
those-
you to what's called,
I don't get out much, so.
Who've never heard of it?
it's called a link tree. So it'll take you anywhere from our website to our merch site to any platform where you can stream or buy our music.
Now, not only are the two of you talented musicians, you're also husband and wife.
We are.
That's good. All right. So
Just celebrated 11 years
Oh, very good.
anniversary.
Woo!
Yeah.
And
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I do mean that.
I know.
You're looking at me like, yeah, come on. All right. Let me know in recovery what your motivation, you and Kelly, what do you do together to help other people?
We try and do everything possible, but it was about, I don't know, several years ago where we started leading meetings together, and we actually started a meeting at Kimmy's. That's where our way of living got started, and that's primarily what we do, and over time, we've focused in on family members and bringing everybody into that because our literature, you know, it has a chapter called The Family Afterward. So, you know, we try to teach that. You'll hear a little more, but that's what we do for recovery.
So you actually do this as a couple together leading a 12-step meeting.
we do. And we started it as one meeting at Kimmy's several years ago, and now it's turned into 4 meetings a week in the area, 2 that are open meetings to the public and 2 that are in White Sands Detox.
That's awesome. So do you get a lot of other couples coming to these groups?
Yes, we do. We've gotten a lot over the past few years, some that are out here, and 2 you'll be hearing from after, but we do. We get lots of couples. It's grown.
Do you encourage them to bring their children?
Absolutely.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tell me some stories of how you believe the children will benefit from this.
And you know, I've heard lots of stories with you know, from different people. Man, I've been coming into AA room since, you know, I was a kid. It says our way of living has its advantages for all. So what we teach, we help families learn about addiction and what it's like. Family members may not know what it's like to take a drink and not be able to physically stop. They may not quite, they'll never understand it, but at least we could help them to better understand and learn why that happens. And then we can teach them how to live. And if they're learning how to better live, hopefully they'll be practicing those principles at home, and the kids will be learning. And I've got a friend who told me that their kid said the H-E-L-L word for the first time. Maybe if they hear some other recovery words and stuff and whatnot, those will be some of the words too.
And another reason why it has its advantages for all, they may not understand what's unique to addiction with the mind and the body, right? The obsession and the physical allergy.
Sure.
But when it comes to the spiritual problem, which we learn is the root of it all, you don't have to be an alcoholic or an addict or struggle with addiction to have, other issues of your own. And so when you learn a spiritual way of life, it becomes a solution to whatever your problems are.
And when the parents do better, the children do better.
Absolutely.
And don't feel bad, kids, if you don't understand. I didn't understand until I was 64 years old, so I'll just keep coming back. Now, what do you have to offer as far as husband and wives? Do you suggest they go to Al-Anon? Do you suggest they do other forms of, like our literature says you may seek outside help. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with, you know what I'm trying to say?
Our literature also tells us, paraphrase, to never underestimate the talents of good doctors, psychiatrists, therapists. It's in there, so we're never against it. I always try to encourage people to come specifically to what we do because we teach straight out of the book. We're talking about the big book, what they did when this all first came together. But listen, you want to expand and try and learn. We don't discourage anything, but we certainly encourage doing the program as it was designed when it was first written, and then go from there.
And that's how I was encouraged to do it. So we're here to try to be as informative as possible in all different ways, manner, shapes, and forms. Mm-hmm. Kelly?
I was just going to say that we're not here to, with what we do, compete with anything anybody else does.
Oh,
we have a niche of teaching the big book to anyone who wants to learn it. And from there, we certainly encourage any outside help needed. I have a lady that I actually took through the book. She's a non-alcoholic wife of one of the alcoholics in our group. And she's very, very involved in Al-Anon, and she loves it. And she's actually gotten some of her Al-Anon female friends to join on Zoom from up north,
Nice.
Because she's learned a lot from the book by attending with us as well.
And if they need other services, sometimes like if the meetings at Kimmy's, you can find some of that help there and some
Absolutely.
resources.
Good point. Now, what day of the week and what time is this meeting?
There's a beginner's meeting at White Sands IOP every 6:30 on Tuesdays. Okay, that's
6:30 in the morning?
6:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, every Tuesday. That's a beginner's workshop.
Okay.
Friday.
And that's open to anybody.
It's open to anybody. Friday is our big book workshop. Same time, same place. 6:30.
Very good.
Yes, and we
Also
do have
open to
cards.
anybody.
Open to anybody.
Now-
Where is the IOP?
IOP is off of Metropolis. So if anyone knows Superman,
Oh.
just think Metropolis.
So it's not at
Nice.
the White Sands property.
No, it's at the IOP property. That's where the open meetings
Okay,
are.
that's very important. So because I would have gone to the thing.
Several people have. Yes.
I
Yeah.
get that. I get that.
I do have business cards for those meetings as well with the address on them. So if anybody is interested that's never attended before, come see us after.
And you said something about Zoom?
Yes, both of those two meetings are available on Zoom as well.
And
Very
can they
good.
find that here?
Yes, well, not on
Jim,
that.
you have the cards?
That's
Jim's
just
at-
music, but I do have cards for way of living.
Jim's
Yes.
got them.
All right.
Jim?
Yeah. Jim's going
Okay.
back. That's
Well,
Jim. He's got
not
cards.
only do you help couples in recovery, we're going to hear from
Yes.
the husband and wife.
Yes.
And we're going to hear from them, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a commercial break. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery and ratedrforrecovery.com. We'll be right back.
Struggling with life's challenges? At The Next Step, we're here to guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's counseling, recovery support, or simply finding hope, we provide the tools and community to help you rise. Take the first step toward healing today. Visit thenextstep.org and discover how we can support your journey to wellness. Remember, every step forward is a step toward a better you. The Next Step, your path to hope, starts here. With offices in Fort Myers and Naples, 844-639-8371.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Not everyone has the luck of the Irish. If a friend or family member is in trouble, call Shamrock Bell Bonds. Put our number into your phone, 239-332-2245, 239-332-2245, or go online at gobailmeout.com. Shamrock Bell Bonds provides fast, reliable service. Shamrock Bell Bonds, 1528 Broadway, downtown Fort Myers. Look for the Shamrock, and maybe luck will be on your side.
Hello, I'm Michael Manzi, owner of JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673. When starting this company 3 years ago, I had no clue that we would grow to what we have become. There is one thing I can say that we have done from the beginning is take pride in our work, making sure every customer we do work for is satisfied from beginning to end. Offering residential painting all the way to commercial painting with jobs done in a timely manner, with highly skilled professionals giving you top-of-the-line work. To help you create your new look, call JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673.
Struggling with addiction? You're not alone. At Phoenix House Project, we believe in second chances and brighter tomorrows. Our proven programs offer support, hope, and tools to rebuild your life. With expert care and a community that understands, transformation starts here. It's time to rise, reclaim your life, and become the best version of yourself. Visit phoenixhouseproject.squarespace.com today or call 239-244-7876. The journey to recovery begins with sober living. Phoenix House Project, where hope takes flight.
Kimmy's Recovery Zone, where hope meets action. We're here to guide the journey from treatment to thriving, healthy living. With peer support, public education, and vital resources like housing, employment, and Narcan training, we're building stronger communities. Ready to make an impact? Together, we're creating a network of recovery, resilience, and renewed lives. Kimmy's Recovery Zone, your hub for healing and hope. Visit us online today at kimmysrecoveryzone.org. It's not how we survive, it's how we thrive.
Join us for connection, encouragement, and real transformation. At Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church, we celebrate God's healing power through the 12 steps of recovery and the life-changing principles found in the Beatitudes. Whether you're overcoming a hurt, habit, or hang-up, Celebrate Recovery offers a safe and supportive community where you can grow, heal, and thrive. Add to your recovery because you're not alone, and healing is possible. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at one of the 3 Grace Church locations. Learn more at egracechurch.com/recovery.
When children have to play inside so they don't disappear.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery.
Calling all angels.
Welcome back, everybody. 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 Welcome back. There we are. Welcome back, everybody, to Rated R for Recovery. That's Rated R, the number 4, recovery.com. So this segment of the show is being brought to you by a very special company, organization called Kimmy's Recovery Zone. Right, come on.
Yes.
Come on. Come on.
Woo!
And before Alan and Kelly debut some new music, I want to introduce the founder of Kimmy's Recovery Zone. Al, would you come up here, please? This is Al Kinkle, ladies and gentlemen.
Al.
So Al, come up here and be recognized. You look like you just came from the country club.
Red, white, and blue.
Very good. All right. So Al, everybody loves Al. So Al, turn around, face the camera if you would, and real briefly, the Reader's Digest version of what is Kimmy's Recovery Zone and who's it named after?
Yeah, Kimmy's Recovery Zone's named after my daughter Kim, who passed away from an overdose of heroin and fentanyl in 2015. And we decided let's do something about that so we can help other people, so that other people don't touched the dangers of overuse, addiction. So we started Kimmy's Zone, and we have Kimmy's Recovery Zones in Fort Myers on Center Road by the airport. And I would like to call it the easy way out. It's a resource center. People can come there and get help all day long, and get their IDs. They can do all kinds of things. We work deeply with the homeless, unhoused, and we're in those camps quite a bit the past couple years. And we just want to help people. And I think Kimmy left us too soon, but I had a great love for my daughter. And since she left, she gave me a purpose. I love her more today than I ever did for giving us a purpose, and her name allowing us to help so many other people. So thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Great job, Al. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please welcome Nashville recording artist Alan and Kelly.
Thank you, guys. We're glad to be here tonight. What? Are you on?
I am good.
Good. All right. Well, thanks for being here tonight. It's great to see everybody. We're going to play a couple of songs before we go into our next segment. And just wanted to note, too, there is a guy in a maroon shirt in the back named Shane, and he is handling our little T-shirt booth. There's also a poster we love people to sign. And if you want a T-shirt, go see him.
Hey, if you got somebody that you love and someone next to you that you care about, just look at them, tell them you love them for a second. This one's about just looking back at life and reflecting. You don't know what's going to happen, right? This one's called Never Know.
There will also be a music video coming out for this song on Sunday.
This birthday's got me thinking, life is like these candles burning. They only last for so long, then in a breath they're gone. Honey, looking at you, I don't ever want to wish for more time. You never know when it's gonna be our last time holding hands, our last kiss, the last time we ever dance, the last time I love you leaves our lips. No, you never know when we're gonna see our last sunset. So make every word one we won't regret could be the last before the good Lord calls us home. 'Cause you never know.
You know this world's a little crazy, spinning faster, it ain't waiting on anyone. With every turn, another day is burned. I don't wanna think twice about only getting to live once. You never know when it's gonna be our last time holding hands, our last kiss, the last time we ever dance, the last time I love you leaves our lips. No, you never know when we're gonna see our last sunset. So make every word one we won't regret could be the last before the good Lord calls us home. 'Cause you never know. The longer we live, the shorter life gets. Let's make every moment we won't forget. You never know when it's gonna be our last time holding hands, our last kiss, the last come get me glance, the last time we make love like this. You never know when it's gonna be our last time holding hands, our last kiss, the last time we ever dance, the last time I love you leaves our lips. No, you never know when we're gonna see our last sunset. So make every word one we won't regret could be the last before the good Lord calls us home. 'Cause you never know. No, you never know. No, you never know. Thank you. Here's one, recovery happens and life still happens when you get in recovery.
And sometimes songs start one way and end up a total other way. And this was a song that started out hearing a story about someone needing to just let go of some things. And this particularly can have something to do with family members, but it turned into something special about our own lives because we still struggle and go through things.
Yeah, we were, trying to help some other people through some things, and in response, we ended up having to go through our own need to let go of things as well. So experience is our best teacher, as I think many of us can attest to here. So this became a very special song for us this past year. We're excited to have it as the last track on our album.
My grip is so tight, won't put the past behind. Try to control and arrange things I can't change. It only keeps dragging me down. I've got to let go. I've got to let go. Live and let live. Forget and forgive. It's not easy, but even so, I've got to let go.
Can't take back what I did. Hold on to these what ifs.
These what ifs
I carry inside, relive in my mind. It only keeps dragging me down. I've got to let go. I've got to let go.
Live and let live. Forget and forgive. It's not easy, but even so, I've got to let go. I've got to let go. What's done is over with. When we hang on, nobody wins. I've got to let go.
Ooh, I've got to let go.
We've got to let go. We've got to let go. Live and let live. Forget and forgive. It's not easy, but even so, we've got to let go. We've got to let go.
Oh, we've got to let go.
We've got to let go.
So, we don't want to play. Are we going to play the whole album tonight?
No, we're
Then there won't be any reason for them to buy it, okay?
That's it off the album.
So, why don't you introduce our next guests?
Awesome. We'd love to. We'd love to.
Joy?
So I used to work at White Sands for several years, and I came in one morning. I was just working there on Saturdays, and I saw this woman sitting, making a phone call, just looking like an absolute wreck. And I came in and I sat down with my big book, planning my lesson for sure. And here was Sandra, and I had my secret weapon in Kelly, where I knew I can always give women to. So I introduced them, and Darrin, her now husband, I had the pleasure of actually taking through the book and the steps, and we have become real good friends with them. And they now take a family meeting to White Sands every other Sunday, the addict and the family member and the 12 steps. And they are just amazing. So Darrin and Sandra.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you very much, Alan. This is very interesting. And Joy, you are the wife. Am I supposed to say? Who cares? You're the wife of an alcoholic, and you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
In recovery, of course.
Yes.
Sue's been, or Joy's been sober since I think 1967 or something, wasn't that it?
Just about.
That's a joke, actually.
Yeah.
People
96.
don't get my humor here at all. Anyway. So okay, Darrin and Sandra, tell us a little bit about what it was like.
Well, I can start off by saying I've had 26 years of addiction, 23 years was pills. I got sober for 3 years, and I met my beautiful husband. Things started to get rocky.
He is beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Not that I'm physically attracted.
I call him handsome. And I was sober for 3 years, and then I met Darrin, and there was some stress going on in our lives with a messy divorce, and I started to turn towards alcohol, and it took me down really fast. I went to treatment at White Sands because my alcohol became all day, all night. I needed it to swim. I needed it to lift weights. I needed it to eat. I needed it to not shake. I needed it to type on my keyboard. It had gotten that far. It was an all-day drinking affair. I went to treatment for 7 days. I just begged to get out. I wanted to work on my relationship. I was terrified that he was going to leave. 3 weeks later, I relapsed. I had a 10-day blackout. That sent me back to treatment, and I spent 30 days back in White Sands, and he stood by my side the whole time. And
Did you say you had a 10-day blackout?
10-day blackout.
How is that possible?
I don't know. You'll have to ask my husband.
That's bad. Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, we will.
I just drank and slept and drank and slept and somehow worked. I have no idea. I lost my cat during that time period for 5 days. That was probably my rock bottom. It's crazy what our rock bottoms are, but I knew I needed help. It was 26 years, and you know, the 23 years of pills, I didn't realize I had a problem. I realized I had a problem, but I never searched out help. It was only until the alcohol that I started to see I needed help, and Darrin had experience with his son being an alcoholic, and he took me to a first AA meeting, and from there we got into White Sands, and that's when I met Alan and Kelly. And
okay, so how did this affect the family unit, Darrin?
Well, initially I thought she was just having health issues. I really...
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that what was going on.
We're good hiders.
I didn't mean to laugh like that out loud, but I mean, okay.
So, you know, because she was getting confused, had bruises on her legs and on her arms, and I couldn't understand what was going on. I called them episodes, so I thought maybe she's having like mini strokes. I really had no clue.
And it's bumping into furniture.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So now, so during this period of time, you were hiding the drinking from him.
Oh, yes. I was drinking 3 to 5 drinks a night, and he called me out on it. And that's when I went into a downfall, because that's when I played the game. I'm not drinking anymore, but I had vodka shoved in every sock pocket, in every sock you can imagine, in every short pocket. I had vodka hidden all over the house, in the litter box, everywhere you could imagine.
So, and it talks about that in a lot of personal stories we hear. How about the dryer? Was there a
I
bottle?
didn't use the dryer.
Just checking. All right.
I should, because he never uses the dryer, but...
I know people who live alone and hide their alcohol.
Absolutely. So, how did this? So, what made you all of a sudden? When did you realize that this was drinking?
Her dad and I sat down. We were trying to figure out what's going on, and she came. She met me at my office, and she admitted what was going on. She said it was alcohol, and I said, "That's impossible. It's not alcohol.
I've never seen you drink.
I'm with you." I said, "We go out. We have one drink. That's impossible. How are you getting so drunk on one drink?" And I found out afterwards. Of course, she's going to the bathroom in between. Having drinks in the bathroom when we're out to eat. Before we go places, she was having drinks. So I didn't know. I was confused.
Cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it's too much for us.
Yep.
Taking sedatives on top of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, a real Dr. Bob she is.
Yeah, yeah right?
Yeah. So tell us what happened what was the final straw? What was the lowest low for you?
I think the lowest low was my family, my parents who were with me in my 23 years of pill addiction. They were on a cruise in South America, and so they weren't around when I was in my 10-day blackout, and Darrin had to handle it. And that's when I lost my cat, and he had no one to go to because he wanted to keep my parents, not knowing what was going on at home, so they weren't worried sick. And it was the last straw. He basically said, it was on the 10th day, he said, "This is your last chance. Do you want to go to White Sands?" And I said, yes. And immediately I fell asleep after that. And he came home and packed up all the bags, and I didn't know if I'd see him again. And he dropped me off at White Sands, and that was the last straw.
What day and year was that?
That was
2.5 years ago?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, but I've relapsed since.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
What's your sobriety date now?
The day before our wedding.
Which was when?
Which was April 27th, 2024.
Very good. So as much as we love you, we don't know the date of your wedding.
Yeah, I know,
That's
sorry.
all. I'm just saying. That's all. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Because are you struggling with anything right now?
No, just regular life stuff, but
How did you get to that point that you just...
the book and working with others. Luckily, Kelly took me through this book. Alan introduced it to me in White Sands. It's the textbook, something you study, learn, and do. It wasn't just going to meetings, and I studied this book like I'd study a calculus book, and then I went out and taught others, and it's teaching others that keeps me away from a drink and makes my problems go away.
Did you find the cat?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. All right. Just
Yes.
had to get that out of the way.
The cat was okay.
Yes.
Now, so how do you wrap your head around this? As a husband, my wife's drinking and she's hiding it, so that means she's lying to me.
Right.
She's deceiving me.
Right.
What else is going on? That would be what's going on?
I was in a state of shock, yeah. I thought she was so trustworthy and I could believe everything, and I told her, it's almost like somebody having an affair because there's, what else is going on, I mean, kind of like that, but so it took me a little while. I thought, just stop drinking for a little bit, get it out of your system, and then we'll go back to the way it was. We'll just each go out and have a drink at night. And I learned that wasn't going to happen that.
When you found out that wasn't the case, that wasn't reality for us, I mean us, I don't know about you, but us that have not the alcohol problem, but the ism. And the ism creates an inability to stop once I start.
Right.
And then I constantly think about it. Then I start, and this physical thing happens to me, where they say I have an allergy to this, and then the phenomenon of craving kicks in. Whether it's heroin, whether it's cocaine, whether it's alcohol, whether it's pills, it's all the same. It's addictive. It's
addiction. It can be work, it can be money, it can be gambling, it can be sex, it can be shopping.
Right.
It could be anything. Yeah.
Usually people don't go out and buy a bunch of clothes and then kill a family of 5 on the freeway. I'm just saying. Or people don't drink a whole 10 pots of coffee and then knock off a convenience store for $50 in the cash register. That's the depth that this place has taken me. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've never killed anybody.
Well, and also,
that I know of, anyway.
You're sort of mixing your metaphors, so to speak, in that, yes, sometimes that's done, especially if you are needing drugs or alcohol and you don't have any money. But going out and killing a family of 5 there's some deeper psych issues there.
Yes.
I don't want to.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So getting back to what did you do? What did you do? Because you said we're going to have, she's going to get the alcohol out of her system. Honey, we'll be okay. Then we'll be able to go out to dinner and we can each have a drink. When did you realize that wasn't true?
Well, she was bringing her drinks to AA meetings, and I figured how they allow
like
that.
That's never been
I didn't know that they allow that.
That's awesome.
So
no, not really.
So that's when I realized we have a real problem here. It should have hit me early on that she's one of the strongest-willed people I've ever seen. Very determined. She's got a necklace around her neck that says 3 Ds: determination, dedication, and desire. She lives her life like that, and I should have known, why can't she kick this? Why can't she just be like me? And
if willpower could do it,
yeah.
then,
we would have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I don't stop drinking for willpower. It just, my body says no. Her body says yes.
Yep.
And, I think the biggest thing that happened to me, because there was a lot that went on in between this, but I went to Alan and Kelly's meeting on the Friday night, simply because they switched it to Friday night, and that was our date night. And she was in recovery at that time, and when I entered that room and I saw all the happy faces and the excitement, and I'm like, wow, this is not like any meeting I've been to before.
Yeah.
But there was stories that they told during that, and I realized, holy cow, Sandra's not the only one that did this stuff. And as a family member, that's kind of an eye-opener, because you think she's the only one that did the crazy stuff, but everybody did the crazy stuff.
All of us.
Yeah.
And so
Most of us.
Did you have to do any work then within yourself? Like, I'm sure there was some resentment and some fear and some anger.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing that I saw as she started to change. I started to kind of want what she had, because she was starting to find more peace. And when we went about a year and a half ago on a cruise with a group of people, I asked Alan if he would take me through the big book just so I could learn. I had been going to Al-Anon for about a year, but no one had ever taken me through the steps.
Nice.
And I realized as I went through the steps, I could apply those steps to my life as well. And yeah, I was loaded with resentment, anger, bitterness, you name it. I wanted to control her drinking. I did all the crazy stuff.
What a
Everybody
perfect
does crazy
example.
stuff.
What a perfect example of that first paragraph in the beginning where it says, Alan said it, besides our way of living has its advantages for all.
Yes.
But what a perfect example of how these steps worked in your life to better understand the alcoholic and then heal from this yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah. The book helps me understand the addiction and alcoholism. The 12 steps, if you look at the 12 steps, only the first step has the word alcohol in it, and I'm powerless over alcohol. I can't stop anyone from drinking. There's no sponsor, no meeting that can stop you from drinking. It has to be a power greater than that.
Well,
right.
and I don't know if I might say this too much, but you realize when these steps were designed, he said that, and he meaning Bill Wilson, said the simple purpose of this program is to show each other what may be done to enlist the aid of a power greater than ourselves, regardless of what our conception of that power is, and rely all we do on that power. So, that being said, any last minute words for any other couples? The camera's right up there. Why don't you go first, and then Darrin, you go next.
I just think the beauty of it all is Darrin started this program for me, but he works it for himself. He tells me all the time he has his own isms, and by working the steps, he's resolved 40 years of difficulties and struggles in his own life. He thinks I have changed. This man has become a completely different man that's learned to live, have peace in the chaos, and he's controlled all his isms because of working this program. He dedicates 2 hours a morning, every morning, to God and to this program.
A new creation.
A new creation. Darrin?
Yeah, well, I'd say the biggest thing is the very last step, step 12. Somebody cared enough to sit out there, and that was Alan and Kelly at a meeting at White Sands. And I literally believe it saved Sandra's life, and that's why we feel it's our mission to share this. Page 124 says it becomes your greatest gift. It literally is our greatest gift. We have a relationship now that is beyond what we could have anticipated. I have peace in my heart, and she has peace in her heart for the first time in a long time, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darrin and Sandra.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
So, this being a party, a CD release party, we're going to hear more music. But before we go to commercial break, we're going to take another commercial break. Then we're going to bring the Nashville recording artists back up on stage to do more music for us, making sure that, Eileen, where are you, by the way? Where is Eileen? Eileen is not here.
Doesn't
but anyway,
matter right now.
Vivian, maybe Vivian or somebody has the raffle tickets?
Get a raffle ticket.
Because did you know that we're raffling off a 2025 Chevrolet?
You get a car.
No, that was, whoa, that was last week. Sorry, that was last week. So we got a bunch of raffle stuff that we're going to raffle off. If you haven't got your raffle tickets, Vivian is got, raise your hand, Vivian. That's Vivian, ladies and gentlemen. She's got your raffle tickets. We'll be right back after these commercial words. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery at ratedrforrecovery.com.
Thanks, guys.
Struggling with life's challenges? At the Next Step, we're here to guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's counseling, recovery support, or simply finding hope, we provide the tools and community to help you rise. Take the first step toward healing today. Visit thenextstep.org and discover how we can support your journey to wellness. Remember, every step forward is a step toward a better you. The next step, your path to hope, starts here. With offices in Fort Myers and Naples, 844-639-8371.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Not everyone has the luck of the Irish. If a friend or family member is in trouble, call Shamrock Bell Bonds. Put our number into your phone, 239-332-2245, 239-332-2245, or go online at gobailmeout.com. Shamrock Bell Bonds provides fast, reliable service. Shamrock Bell Bonds, 1528 Broadway, downtown Fort Myers. Look for the Shamrock, and maybe luck will be on your side.
Hello, I'm Michael Manzi, owner of JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673. When starting this company 3 years ago, I had no clue that we would grow to what we have become. There is one thing I can say that we have done from the beginning is take pride in our work, making sure every customer we do work for is satisfied from beginning to end. Offering residential painting all the way to commercial painting with jobs done in a timely manner, with highly skilled professionals giving you top-of-the-line work. To help you create your new look, call JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673.
Struggling with addiction? You're not alone. At Phoenix House Project, we believe in second chances and brighter tomorrows. Our proven programs offer support, hope, and tools to rebuild your life. With expert care and a community that understands, transformation starts here. It's time to rise, reclaim your life, and become the best version of yourself. Visit phoenixhouseproject.squarespace.com today or call 239-244-7876. The journey to recovery begins with sober living. Phoenix House Project, where hope takes flight.
Kimmy's Recovery Zone, where hope meets action. We're here to guide the journey from treatment to thriving, healthy living. With peer support, public education, and vital resources like housing, employment, and Narcan training, we're building stronger communities. Ready to make an impact? Together, we're creating a network of recovery, resilience, and renewed lives. Kimmy's Recovery Zone, your hub for healing and hope. Visit us online today at kimmysrecoveryzone.org. It's not how we survive, it's how we thrive.
Join us for connection, encouragement, and real transformation. At Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church, we celebrate God's healing power through the 12 steps of recovery and the life-changing principles found in the Beatitudes. Whether you're overcoming a hurt, habit, or hang-up, Celebrate Recovery offers a safe and supportive community where you can grow, heal, and thrive. Add to your recovery because you're not alone, and healing is possible. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at one of the 3 Grace Church locations. Learn more at egracechurch.com/recovery.
When children have to play inside so they don't disappear.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery.
Calling all angels.
So welcome back to Rated R for Recovery, ratedrforrecovery.com. I'm going to do a little promotion for that little bit of music that you hear in and out of our show, which was a show very so sad. There was a band that recorded some hits a few years back called Train. And one of their hits was Calling All Angels. My friend Charlie was the bass player and the songwriter for the band Train. Charlie lost his life to addiction in Brussels about a year ago today. And before he passed away, he did a bunch of re-recordings of the songs he wrote for Train. He wrote Drops of Jupiter, Meet Virginia, and Calling All Angels. So Charlie and a group of musicians went to Martha's Vineyard and recorded the version that you hear. Now, on that version of the song is a young lady that those of us over 40, maybe even older, would know, and that's Carly Simon, who hadn't lent her voice to a track of music in years. She stopped recording. So she walked into the studio, and she sees Skunk Baxter from Steely Dan and the Doobie Brothers. She sees Charlie. She sees my friend Danny and Sally, who's her daughter that she has with James Taylor. And she says, I want to sing on this record. And so who's going to say no to Carly Simon? And that's the version you hear. And you don't have to buy it. You can listen to it for free on YouTube. It's called Calling All Angels. It's the American Vinyl All-Star Bands version. Right now, without any further ado, so much for that. So you guys are going to do more new music, right?
2 more. We're going to do one new one and one older one.
Didn't Darrin and Sandra do a wonderful job?
Awesome.
They were amazing.
Give them
it
another
up
round
one
of
more
applause.
time.
Check, check, check.
So ladies and gentlemen, once again, Nashville recording artists, Alan and Kelly.
Yeah, Sandra and Darrin, you did just amazing. There's nothing more rewarding than to watch the people that we have the pleasure of helping help others. Nothing like it.
I have lived my life, and there is no better feeling than watching people get well and do this and help other people. Seriously, the best thing that I've ever experienced, and to be a part of this. Thank you very much for doing this tonight.
Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure, too, I know that these little QR codes have been floating around the room. I know that we've got a friend, Matt, passing them out. We also have them on our T-shirt table. There's a QR code on the back. It takes you to a link tree. I mentioned this in the beginning, but more importantly, not only does it take you to all of our social media and our website, but tomorrow, the album Under God that we started the video with, that's going to be available tomorrow on all streaming services and for purchase wherever you get your music as well.
All this is because of what God has done in our lives. None of this would be possible. You know, under God, I figured if I could turn my life over to God and let him run the show, if we try to pass that message on, it can just look out here, miracles right here. This is one of my most favorite songs I've ever gotten to write with my beautiful wife. It's called Fingerprints. I've seen 100-year oak trees with golden leaves,
Sky burning sunsets shining on a beach,
snow-capped mountaintops touching the clouds, miles of blue ocean. And what I found is, Lord, I see your fingerprints all over it. The only one who could create such a masterpiece and always leave me breathless with everything I see in this world that I'm in. There's always a glimpse of your fingerprint in 12-step meetings, every Friday night.
Kids in a classroom lighting up smiles,
couple making vows in your name, neighbors helping neighbors after a hurricane. Yeah, Lord, I see your fingerprints all over it. The only one who could create such a masterpiece and always leave me breathless with everything I see in this world that I'm in. There's always a glimpse of your fingerprints.
oh, your fingerprint.
You hide in plain sight day and night. Your hands are right before our eyes.
Lord, I see your fingerprints all over it. The only one who could create such a masterpiece and always leave me breathless with everything I see.
Your fingerprints all over it. The only one who could create such a masterpiece and always leave me breathless with everything I see in this world that I'm in. There's always a glimpse of your fingerprints.
Thank you, thank you. You want to announce the last song with the shirt?
The last song is kind of a classic around here. It's called Trying My Best to Live. We like to dedicate this to our recovery family whenever we get to sing it for you guys. And this is the shirt that the t-shirts, or the song that the t-shirts were designed after. So we'd like to close out with it. And thank you guys again for being here with us tonight.
Yeah, we're truly thankful for everyone. I have my own family member. My sister, Natasha, is here. She saw me through some of the worst depths of my addiction. She is a personal trainer. Tosh, can you raise your hand? She looks kind of like me. But getting healthy in here is first and foremost. And then hopefully as we get healthy in here, we try to do that in all our lives. So we're just thankful for y'all. Tosh, I love you. Thank you for being here.
Feel free to sing along if you know the words.
I want to hear you, Sandra. I've had a lot of demons to battle down. Jumped out of planes that never left the ground. I've made enough mistakes to fill a lifetime, but I'm still here. I've heard old men talk about their regrets, taking the easy road with safer bets. But I don't want to be a prisoner of my deep, dark fears. I'm just trying my best to live, so I don't look back and say what if. Can't win if I don't try, never wanna ask why. Didn't give everything I had to give. I'm just trying my best, I'm trying my best to live. Trying my best. Don't have to be near death to make a bucket list. Let imperfect love spoil a new first kiss. Wait till someone asks me to pitch in, to lend a helping hand. Oh, gotta take a lot of risks to ride the perfect wave. Lose a lot of golf balls. Well, except if you're Kelly's dad, he doesn't lose any golf balls. That's how the game is played. The more I put into this life, I'll get it back times 10. I'm just trying my best to live, so I don't look back and say what if. Can't win if I don't try, never want to ask why. Didn't give everything I had to give. Whoa, I'm just trying my best, I'm trying my best to live with the fact I ain't Superman, but you bet I'm gonna live like I am. Put yourself in it. We're just trying our best to live, so we don't look back and say what if. Can't win if we don't try, never want to ask why. We didn't give everything I had to give. We're just trying our best, we're trying our best to live. We're trying our best to live. We're trying our best. We're trying our best. We're trying our best to live. A day at a time. Thank you, God.
Happy 4th of July.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the QR code, the name Alan and Kelly, the album,
Under God.
Under God.
I knew that. I was getting there, Under God. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, right after we sign off, which is in just a few minutes here, and they're going to take us out with song, whether it be whatever you want to do. Can you do that? Cool. You're going to close us out with song, and then right after that, just stay around because we're doing the raffle with, yes, ladies and gentlemen, thousands of fabulous prizes. So thanks for watching at home. We're signing off right now. We're here every Thursday night from 7 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Everything.
She's
Oh,
in
and
charge of all that.
and Podcast Playground. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You've been watching Rated R for Recovery at RatedR4Recovery.com.